Hi friends, welcome back to the series Perceiving and Living the New Earth. This is part 3. Now we have found that existence money will correct the robbery on Earth and will work through all the overlays both in the physical world and in our own minds. So existence money works as a switch. When the switch is turned off, the collective issues are still being caused. When the switch is turned on, we correct the cause of the collective issues. The switch is the transmutation. And the fact that existence money will work through all the overlays is a transformation. That transformation will go by itself. So when you let the meaning, the profound meaning of existence money, the consciousness that is underneath existence money, of course, when you let that awareness work through your inner structure, all the layers will transform by itself. In the outer world, that is the same. When we apply and implement existence money in our living togetherness, existence money will work through all the layers, and the layers have to dissolve or will transform, and it goes by itself. The transformation goes by itself. We do not have to do anything for that, because when we would have all humanity would have their own existence money, so many things will transform in their own time and space by itself. The things that will dissolve, I have that written out in Dutch. It's a list, probably not complete, but you will get my drift and you will understand what is the transmuting power of existence money. When we let life in its own context, so our own lives also, more than 80% of what we now do collectively will dissolve or need to transform. So that's huge, because now you can understand that so many people work in areas that is feeding the overlays, and which we do not need among each other. In fact, when we would live together in an organic way. And what stays is what will support our living togetherness. And when we see that we miss things in our midst, then we co-create that among each other. So existence money is both access money on a monthly basis to the first things we need to be alive physically and access to health care. So also all insurances will dissolve. That also means that the what we think we need to feel secure, that is a security from outside. Insurances have nothing to do with being secure in ourselves. And the true protection is in our living togetherness. You see? So you move from looking outside to your inner, and you more and more will come from your inner source and your inner power and creational power. And even when existence money is not implemented in the world, in our living togetherness, still you can use it to become more and more conscious, and by that more and more aware. So what will dissolve? All kind of educational structures that needs finance and funding. Also study financial structures will dissolve. Social welfare, all structures that belongs to Health Insurance Act. Pension, daycare center, because when you receive your existence money, you can stay at home and look after your child yourself, and that is huge. The current structures of mortgages and loans, the taxing agency needs to transform to facilitation bureau. So that's a totally different approach, of course, because now we are being taxed and burdened. It's through taxes we are robbed of our life force energy. All kind of health care insurances will dissolve, but also electronic patient files. The most part of the government will dissolve, and that what stays will need to transform into a facilitation. The steering, the ruling, the power over, the controlling, all those kind of organizations and corporations will dissolve or need to transform. The food banks, as we know them now, can transform into food markets because the food is there. What is missing is the access money to the food. The royal house as we know it now, will dissolve or transform, because then some people do think it's important to have kind of a royal house that will dissolve. People in jail will pay their own costs. So society doesn't need to pay for them anymore. The patent bureaus ideas about refugees have to transform totally, because refugees will receive their existence money also of ideas we have about other people, about their color, their religion, their way of life, what they feel is important for them. Everybody is totally free to live according to their own wishes. The running after gold is not necessary anymore. And we know already that the gold belongs to earth. Gold is the blood of the earth. The media, all kind of educational programs on behalf of the so-called world. There will not be a third world anymore. And very important, the breakthrough of the cycle pedosexuality. And I know that's a huge statement I make. So I try to explain. Children are easy victims for the perverse lust, tick, man and woman. Yeah, you need to realize that the pedosexuality not only is caused by men, but also by women. And the victims are not only girls, but also boys. And sodomy is a huge cause of issues with little boys. And that's on purpose. Men and women who feel the need to misuse children are very deep out of balance and harmony. Issues as power over, projected in paid sex, and even children working as prostitutes. And children are even forced to work as prostitutes. They are being educated for that. So pedosexuality exists in different layers. And in the deepest layers, children are educated for this, to seduce men in an important position, to compromise them. Here comes the profound MK Ultra in. MK Ultra happens on different levels also, of course. And on this deep level, children are being MK Ultra programmed. And a child which is programmed becomes a predator when it's older. So that is the cycle. When someone starts talking, a so-called whistleblower, and I mean now those who protect each other in those fields, they will try to do everything to shut that person up. They try to ridicule that human, threaten that human, kill even. And it's not that easy to deprogram when you are being programmed and lead a normal life. Post-traumatic stress syndrome, borderline kind of disorders, creating alters, that kind of things are the result of this heavily being programmed. Understand the huge reach of pedosexuality and the MK Ultra programs among these groups, then you understand that punishment is not the solution. And I'm not saying here that the predators need not receive their punishment because they need to be taken out of society, of course. They are not allowed to create more victims. So something must happen, of course. But punishment without doing anything in society will not work. Society needs to become aware about the workings and the dynamics within society. Do you get this? Because we have a triangle, the predator, the victim, and the savior. And as long as we do not break through, heal this triangle, nothing truly can transform in society. The old system is deep sick, and many people think that the system needs to be replaced. And I agree, of course, that the old current system is very sick, but I do not agree that it needs to be replaced, because then we would still focus on the system. And that's the fault. We need to focus on humans. We humans do not need to be controlled, steered, ruled. We humans need to flow and flower freely in our own life force energy to create and co-create, to be independent of all kinds of things outside ourselves, be it humans, be it systems. So can you see that the deepest perversion, the deepest disempowerment of all humans, and there is no way out, the perversion self. And the most profound perversion is the most profound robbery that is installed on earth. Our direct access to earth, her resources, and each other's talents. So give all humans back what belongs to humans, and all humanity can start to heal as a collective. Can you see this through also? Those perversions can only exist in our society due to the way we live together in the here and now. So this is huge, people. Existence money through all those layers. And finally, the collective healing can begin. But we are not even started to live according to New Earth references. And first we didn't know. But now we do know. Since 2006 already, we do know. So we can't say anymore, wir haben das nicht gewusst. Because we do know. But the answer is pushed out of our equation. So we must look into ourselves how we still feed the systems and the overlays. And only when we face ourselves with this profound truth, only then we can feel deep indignation within ourselves. And we become kind of outraged, but I do not mean that we become angry or furious or superficial emotions like that. But from within, we use that power, that transformational power, to stand for what already belongs to us, but is still robbed from us. And then the healing can begin. Okay, people, I leave it here for this episode. In the next one, I will go into more in depth about how to apply existence money in our own individual lives. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in next episode.